everybody, how you doing tonight? All right, coming to you straight from my office. This is definitely obvious. This is a green screen. First time green screen user here. It's obvious because you got the little green outline around my whole entire body. Like I'm just like some kind of big giant germ or something. Oh my God, how gross was that? That made me sound like really horrible. Like I'm really gross. I take showers all the time, people. I'm not a germaphobe either. I just like to be clean. All right. So how's everybody doing out there today? All right, hope everybody's doing good. How many married people we got here? How many married people we got viewing this video right now? If you're married, raise your hand. All right. I think I saw at least about 30, 40 people. I actually didn't see anybody because this isn't live anywhere. This is just a video. But it'd be really awkward if I didn't even get that many views on this video, right? I'd just be talking to nobody. So how many people out there wish they weren't married? Raise your hand. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Especially if you're sitting beside the person you're married to, you just got yourself in a lot of trouble. Don't do that, okay? You just told on yourself. So, just got married back in January, okay? It's been really cool. Been really excited to be married. But I found out through the whole time we've been together, married, even while we were dating, the hardest part about being in a relationship, it's not necessarily the politics. It's not the religion. It's nothing like that. It's nothing that difficult. It's dinner. It's trying to find out what you're going to have for dinner. Okay? Because here's what happens. Your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, whatever, they look at you and they say, honey, what do you want for dinner? I want Burger King. I don't want that. Like, why did you ask me what I wanted for dinner then? Right? Like, what's the point in asking me if I'm going to tell you and you're going to be like, I don't want that anyway. So I have come to the point where I've realized now my plan of attack. When my wife asks me, she says, honey, what do you want for dinner? I just skip all the mumbo jumbo. I just name every restaurant in town. So she'll say something like, just like, honey, what you want for dinner? I'll look at her. I'll say, Waffle House, Burger King, Hardee's, Taco Bell, KFC, Longhorn Steakhouse, Lone Star, Fridays, name everything around. That way, all she's got to do, it's actually a service to her. All she's got to do is just say one big, nah, I don't think I want that. And then they always follow it up with this. She always follows it up with this. She looks at me and she says, what else is there? I just named everything in town. There's nothing left. We have like some PB&J stuff, but if you're not liking steak or chicken or beef, I don't think PB&J is going to do it for you, you know? But I'm telling you, that's how it is in every relationship. Everybody I've ever talked to, that is how it is. But I love my wife because she keeps me straight. She keeps me from doing a lot of bad ideas because I'm a really crazy guy. And she keeps me going good. She keeps me going right. Like, for instance, this whole YouTube thing I'm doing, right? Like a lot of the content, you know, I've been doing like a fart song and a fart ASMR and all this stuff. And I got all these different stories about farts. And so I'll come up to her and I'll say, hey, honey, I got this new cool idea. And she's like, what is it? And I tell her about it. And she's like, honey, I don't think you should do that. Why? It's hilarious. It's funny. People are going to like it. You know, you keep saying stuff about pooping and farting and butt stuff, and people are going to get worried about you. Like, but it's funny. She's like, I just don't think you should do it. It's a bad idea. People are going to start thinking you got some kind of internal problems or something. But yes, I love my wife a lot because she definitely saves me from those bad ideas. And maybe when I've gone a little too hard on one topic, she kind of stops me from that. And I really love her a lot because she seems really innocent, right? She's not at all. But she just seems very innocent and naive. Like, for instance, we bought this house, right? And we got it in the woods. And it's not like we're like hillbillies living in the back in a cabin in the woods. But, you know, we get a nice little half-acre lot. You know, we got some trees around and stuff. And the first night we move in, my wife is out on the back deck. And she comes in and she looks freaked out. She's like, honey. And I'm what? She was like, I heard some noises out there. I'm like, okay, what did you hear? It sounded like somebody was stepping around the house. I just looked at her and said, honey, It's probably a deer. We live in the country now. There's woods, there's creatures, there's animals. Nothing to be afraid of, nothing to worry about, right? So, even better, a couple days later, she's out on the back deck at night again. She comes running in and she's laughing hysterically. And I'm like, what is going on? That's so funny. I want to be a part of this. What is going on so hilariously outside, right? And she's laughing. She's like, I heard a cow moo. She was like overblown excited about this, which at that point I just bust out laughing because I'm used to hearing cows moo. I know what the country is like, okay? But she was just so excited about this. And I just looked at her in the face. I was like, honey, we're in the country. You're going to hear cows moo. You're going to hear things walking around. It's little squirrels and deer. There's nothing to be worried about. She doesn't do that anymore. She's grown up. She's learned what nature is. It's awesome. So, yes, I love my wife to death. We get along great most of the time. But there was one point I thought I was going to lose her. I thought she was gone. I thought she was walking out. Thought I'd never hear from her again. But it was when we first started dating, right? So, at that time when we first started dating, I was living with my mom. So, I was living with my mom. And so me and her were talking quite frequently over the telephone. And one day, I'm at my house, chilling in my bedroom, minding my own business. And I said, I'm going to go get me something to drink out the kitchen. So I go to the living room, and my mom, right? Who in here's got a crazy mom? Raise your hand, right? I can't tell if you're raising your hand because it's a YouTube video. But it's cool. I got you because I got a crazy mom. So I'm sure you got some crazy mom stories too. So this is my crazy mom story, just one of them. So I'm going to the kitchen to get me something to drink, and I look at my mom, and my mom is giggling like a little schoolgirl with the phone, right? She's like, hey, Mom, what are you doing? What's so funny? She was like, I'm calling her. You're calling who? You're really excited about this. Who are you calling? Caitlin. So I hadn't given my mom my girlfriend's phone number, my wife's phone number. I hadn't given her that yet. So I didn't think it was my Caitlin. I thought it was somebody else, right? So I'm like, Caitlin who, Mom? She was like, your girlfriend. My mouth drops open, right? I'm like, how did you get her number, Mom? Did she give it to you? Like, what's going on? She was like, no. So how did you get it? I found it on the phone bill. What? So I'm freaking out. I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? You found it on the phone bill. She was like, I figured it was hers because it was the number that was called the most. So I'm freaking. I'm like, what? She's like, it's ringing. She's excited. She's ecstatic. And I'm about to pee in my pants because I'm like, yep, this is it. She's gone. Bye-bye. Adios. She's never going to call me again, right? So my mom's all giddy like a little schoolgirl. My girlfriend picks up the phone. She's, hello? What does my mom do? She doesn't introduce herself, okay? This is what my mom does. She says, hey. And then she's still snickering in the background. So I can only imagine what my girlfriend's hearing at this point, right? There's this weird voice saying, hey, and snickering. So my girlfriend is like, hey, who is this? And she was like, you don't remember me? You don't recognize my voice? At which point I can tell that my girlfriend is getting really freaked out. She's like, no, I have no idea who this is. So my mom, what does she do? She says, it's Dustin's mom, Lori. And she busts out laughing, which it would have been great if she would have ended it there. If she would have ended it there, it would have been fine. The world would have been great. Everything would have been dandy, right? No. What does my mom do? Caitlin never asked, how did you get my number? My mom says, I got your number from the phone bill. It was the number that he was calling the most, so I figured it was yours. That's the day I figured out apparently my mom is a stalker. Okay? Like, who does that? Who looks at a phone bill and is like, I haven't even been really introduced to her, but I'm going to call her and freak her out a little bit. Right? Jeez. But luckily, my wife stuck with me, and she stuck with me through a lot. I've got a big personality, and I go through a lot of things, funny things. So she's been really great, really great. I've been happy to have her around. But yeah, I just like going through life, and I notice certain things, weird things, and very observational. And so one morning the other day, I was sitting there eating my cereal, and I started noticing the milk, and I just started thinking, how did milk get here? How did it go from the point of nobody knows what the heck is in that cow's udder to here in my cereal? So I looked it up. Started thinking, got interested, I looked it up. So apparently man has been drinking milk from cows for about 6,000 to 8,000 years. Now, women started drinking milk a little bit later because apparently the prehistoric woman had a little bit of trouble finding the right size grass skirt back in those days. So she started drinking about 5,000 to 7,000 years ago, okay? So, but I started thinking about this, and it made me ask a couple questions. So question number one was, when the first guy drank milk, did he just drink it straight from tap? Was he just like, that udder looks good? Or maybe he used the more traditional approach and just, got it from the udder. I don't know. But my third question is this, and this was the real question. Like, what made this man, whoever it was, what made this guy sit there and look at that cow in the field and go, I'm going to give me some of that. Oh, yeah. Like, what makes somebody think that, right? So I've kind of got two different scenarios that I think happen with this situation. I really do. I think the first scenario, because I don't think anybody in their right mind would just go start sucking on a cow's udder. The first scenario is this: aliens. It's got to be aliens, okay? So taking a break from their, normal cow routine, we all know what that is. They're flying over, they see little farmer Bob on the farm, right? They say, hey, let's give him a little tad bit of information today. Let's swing down there. We're going to show him that he can drink this stuff, right? So they swing down there. They show Farmer Bob how to do it. They show him that he can drink that milk. And honestly, if I'm Farmer Bob, I can only imagine this man's sitting there. Aliens coming from the sky. He's being shown that he can drink milk from a cow's udder. He's got to be standing there in utter disbelief, right? Or my second theory is this. I believe that man lost a bet to his wife, okay? And this is why I say that, because this is what happens, right? And we've been there. I've been in this situation as well. I believe what happened is this man, his wife came to him and said, honey, can you get me this certain thing out of my pocketbook? He says, sure. He searches for 5 to 10 minutes. He can't find it. We all know women's pocketbooks are like dungeons, man. Like, it just doesn't end. You think that it's done, and you dig deeper and find 10 more levels in them things. I don't know how they do it. It's like secret compartments. But here's the thing. He didn't find it, right? He's like, honey, I can't find it. She's like, it's there. I can't find it. So what happens? She says, fine, I'll find it myself. He replies by saying, you know what, honey? If you find that thing, I'll go drink that milk from that cow's udder. Well, the rest is history. That's how it happened. Okay? All right, but yes, I enjoy being married. I love my wife. And I can tell you through many of experiences with my wife, there is one thing that every man should be afraid of. One thing, okay? There's a lot of little mini things that you should watch out for that you shouldn't really get yourself in trouble with. But there's one thing, if a woman tells you to do it, you don't do it, okay? I can't tell you how many times we were getting into a little tussle, like a little argument, and I'm wanting to do one thing and she's wanting to do another, and she sits down and she gets still. When your wife sits down and gets still and looks at you in the face and says, do what you want to do. Just go ahead and do it. Let me tell you something. Don't do it. It is a trap. Do not do it. Matter of fact, if your wife ever tells you, do what you want to do, you know what you need to do? Just stand still. Don't move. It's like they got like heat detecting radar or something. You start moving and they're going to watch you until you leave the room. They're going to watch you because they want you to do what you want to do. Why? They win either way. Think about this. They win either way. If you do what you want to do, she wins because she told you to do it. If you don't do what you want to do, she wins because she didn't want you to do it. So the best thing for you to do is if your wife, your significant other, whoever it is, ever tells you, do what you want to do, don't. Just stand perfectly still. Just stand like this. They won't detect you if you don't move. Breathe shallow. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed our time tonight. I definitely appreciate y'all checking it out. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video, man. Have a good one.